Welcome back to Awesome News TV, and today we're going to look at 4 things spotted in Arsenal training as Arsenal prepare for their first Premier League match versus Brentford, and Mikel has the players training very hard to make sure they secure their first victory. So the first thing on the list is Gabriel Martinelli returns to Arsenal training, and from this alone we can clearly see how much Gabriel Martinelli enjoys his football at the club and how much determined and passionate he is to succeed in an Arsenal shirt, as he was someone that just won the Olympic gold medal with Brazil, and straight after 2 days he has returned to training. He has not taken an extra holiday, and that shows his determination, his passion, and he is someone that I think could thrive very well if he's given the opportunity from Mikel Arteta, and I think he could be starting in the game versus Brentford given the fact how he has looked in training, the way Mikel Arteta has set up the players, and I think there's a high possibility that he could be starting versus Brentford, and I would love to see him start if the likes of bukayo Saka isn't given the opportunity in that left winger role, and Gabriel Martinelli is given that opportunity ahead of bukayo Saka, but at the same time he's someone that can easily operate in that number 9 role, and with the likes of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Alexandre Lacazette's future remaining uncertain at the football club, Gabriel Martinelli following Balogun and Eddie Nketiah look like 3 young starters to start at that number 9 role, and Gabriel Martinelli is very versatile. He can operate on either wing and he can play up front, and he could be someone that definitely could start versus Brentford if he is match fit and ready to make a huge impact for this upcoming season. And I think Mikel Arteta has started to show his appreciation. He has started to remove his bias away from certain players, and I think this could be the season where we start to see Gabriel Martinelli thrive and really be a top level player. So this nicely takes us on to the second thing on the list, which states that Callum Chambers is up for the mood in training, and as you can clearly see in this picture here that Callum Chambers has his boxing stance. He's someone that ready to maybe have a match with someone or have the opportunity to fight for his position, as that is something that he's clearly doing if you understood the pun. And I think when it comes to Callum Chambers, he is someone that I think has solidified himself as a starting right back for the football club, and I think this the main reason is because using the bib theory, the so-called bib theory, to realise who will be starting, who will not be starting, and using that for Gabriel Martinelli, I think there's a similarity with Callum Chambers as well, as you can clearly see in these pictures that Callum Chambers is not wearing a bib. The same thing could be said about Gabriel Martinelli, and the same thing could be said about a lot of range of players that look likely to feature versus Brentford, and I think Callum Chambers will be the starting right back, and I think he should be the starting right back given the fact that Hector Bellerin's relationship on the right hand side with nicolas Pepe is very awful, and I think them two players are just repelling with each other's abilities. And when it comes to Cedric Soares, I think he complements very well with nicolas Pepe, but Callum Chambers is someone that Mikel Arteta prefers. I think he understands the football club, he understands the passion, he understands his ability on the ball, and he's someone that can make some crosses, and he's someone that will put 110% in. But is he the right back that we need moving into the new season? We've heard Mikel Arteta state that there will be things happening even until the latter stages of the transfer window, and for me, Callum Chambers is a player that I would love to see at the football club, someone that I think could make a huge impact, but I'll rather see a new right back. So the next thing on the list is Sambi Lokonga, very likely to start versus Brentford, and this is because they use so-called bib theory once again, and Sambi Lokonga is someone that hasn't been wearing a bib throughout this training, and that shows that he is going to be starting versus Brentford, because other players such as the likes of Will Smith-Rowe, the likes of other players such as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Ben White, certain players like this that definitely looked likely to start, nicolas Pepe for instance, these players were not seen wearing a bib, and Sambi Lokonga looks likely to start in their midfield because I thought he is someone that impressed in pre-season, even though Arsenal as a whole did look shaky, and I think he was one of the few shining lights in that pre-season matches. And I think when it comes to Sambi Lokonga, I think he is someone that brings a different shade, a different technique, a different style to his game, and a different style to that Arsenal midfield, the way he can find those overlapping balls, the way he can find those diagonal crosses, and that's something that I do like about his game, and he's got a very good opportunity to impress versus Brentford and get his name on top of the stars and really make him a big prospect in my opinion. And I think that he will definitely start because the way I think Mikel Arteta has set up the lineup, if you look at the players, if you look at the pictures, the players wearing no bibs, such as the likes of Sambi Lokonga and etc., would be likely to start, as players that were wearing bibs were playing in that 5-3-2 formation that Brentford operate. If you can see the likes of Bellerin and Cedric Soares playing with Bellerin as the right centre-back, with Cedric Soares being the right wing-back. And if you look at the way they trained, I think definitely Sambi Lokonga will probably start versus Brentford, and I do wish him a lot. So the final thing on the list is Ben White, very to impress versus Brentford, and I think he's someone that I think impressed heavily in those two games. You can see he's a different type of player, a different caliber. He's just 1 or 2 steps above our current defence in my opinion. And I think he's going to definitely be a mainstay. Yes, £50 million might be a bit too much on one player, but I think he's a player that could really revolutionise our central defence. I think we need that English player to play in that right centre-back position to show how much it means to play for this football club. He knows how much it means to play for this football club, and I think he will be very solid moving into the new season. I think if it was also to reach the upper reaches of the table, I think he will have a huge part in my opinion. And the way he progressed himself throughout the whole time at his career in Arsenal, and the way he has talked himself about being the person that comes out when Arsenal are not in the right moment. He's the one that wants to get the moment where the players think they don't have enough, and he's the one that could make that surprise goal, that surprise move, that surprise attack. And I think Ben White is a great addition. I think you can see if our defence is sorted, I think Kieran Tierney and Ben White are definitely two centre-backs, definitely that will be in, two left-back and centre-back, that will definitely be in Arsenal's defence for the next 2, 3, 4 years, if they have no injuries and no bad form. And Gabriel Martinelli is someone that could be added to that list. So I think we need a new right back, as mentioned before, because I think even though Callum Chambers is an average right back, I think he's more of a squad player because he can operate in a number of different positions such as centre back, central midfield, right back, and that's something that Mikel Arteta will be able to utilise for further things. But Ben White is ready to impress versus Brentford. So these are 4 things spotted in the Arsenal training as Arsenal prepare for their match versus Brentford. And Mikel Arteta knows that the way he has been talking in press conferences that we need this victory and we need to get off to a good start. And I am very scared as an Arsenal fan as well.